don't want to be strong like man who look pretty. I want to be strong like bitch that fight bears in the forest.
Welcome to another episode of Bitch vs. Bear with your hosts, me, Amber, my bestie, Sydney. We are co-owners of Shield Maiden Training Co., and this is a show where we bitch, laugh, and chat about all things related, all things fitness related, to women and the LGBTQIA plus community.
You were on a roll there, and then
tripping over the fitness part.
the fitness part. I know. Well, okay, we'll work on it. Have you practice in the mirror or something? So this month we are going to be focusing on fitness during pregnancy and subsequently motherhood, like all the things that come after.
Right.
There is a disclaimer on this episode
Yes.
that Amber and I do not have children, nor have we ever been pregnant. But we understand that a lot of our friends and family and people around the world do have children and are pregnant. So
People do that?
They do that, yes. So with that being said, we're taking this from, we've tried to gather as much perspective as possible, but know that it's, from coming from us, we haven't had to live this specific reality.
This is not personal experience talking.
Correct. We will have a guest on later in the month that will be able to talk about their personal experience. So that'll be exciting. But this is coming more from our own research and also just talking and interacting with our, friends and family that we love dearly who have been pregnant and also have children. Yes. So again, another little kind of disclaimer is consult with your healthcare provider. It's crucial to get clearance from your healthcare provider before beginning or continuing any exercise program during a pregnancy. They can provide insight based on your medical history, current health conditions, and any potential complications that might arise.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, we say it a lot about talk to your, but I feel like if you're pregnant, you should be in regular contact and hopefully have a really great doctor, OBGYN, that you feel super comfortable having discussions with.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely listen to the episode and take what you want from it. But before you do anything that we advise, go to your doctor first.
Yeah.
And ask them if that's a good choice for you.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I heard this on this really cool podcast, but how would that affect me personally?
Yeah. Is that something I can do safely?
Yeah.
Okay. So that being said, while staying active during pregnancy is generally beneficial, there are some challenges you might encounter when it comes to your fitness. So it's important to be aware of these challenges and take appropriate measures to address them. First, talk to your doctor.
Yes. And then, so I thought it was really important to explain, I think there's a lot of things on social media and just in generally in the world where it's okay, you can totally still do this while you're pregnant and try and do this, but not a lot of people talk about the potential challenges and barriers when you're pregnant and give you a lot of grace to bow out of things. There's a lot going on, and it's okay if your physical fitness isn't exactly the same as it was before you got pregnant.
Right. You're throwing a whole ass human being inside of your body.
That is a physical fitness feat in and of itself.
Right? Oh my gosh.
I think that everybody who's hey, I am growing a human is all right, you're doing something incredibly physically taxing.
Yeah. You just go chill.
Yeah. Go to the seaside.
Go to the seaside. Yes.
Okay. So this one, I think probably most people would be aware of is that there are going to be physical changes that are occurring. So pregnancy brings out significant physical changes in your body, if you weren't aware of that, such as weight gain. And also, this one is really important. Changes in your center of gravity.
Oh my gosh,
so that affects all of our balance and things like that. And so things that you used to do without issue may now cause you issue. For squatting, for example, your whole center of gravity is changing. And so squatting now becomes a thing that you have to think about.
Right? Yeah.
And then there are the hormonal shifts that happen. So these changes, like we said, can affect your balance, stability, just not even just like everything is weird. I don't know how to like
Physical, mental, emotional.
So like your stability is just a little off. Especially also your energy levels.
Mhm.
So like you're gonna find a lot more ebb and flow in
Yeah.
these time periods with having a pregnancy. So it's all gonna make certain exercises more challenging or uncomfortable. And sometimes what I think, nothing should hurt when you're doing it, when you're exercising. Things will be uncomfortable. And it's learning to really listen to your body of like, is this painful or is this uncomfortable? And is it in an uncomfortable state that I can work around? Or is it so uncomfortable that I should avoid this?
Right. Important distinctions.
Yes. Yeah.
So another challenge that you might be facing is just fatigue.
Mm.
Like we said, like this is physically taxing work.
Yeah.
And it's work. Like
And
your
it's
body is working hard.
And it's constantly working. It's not like it can be like, oh, and now I can rest.
Yeah, no, there
It's
is
like-
no rest.
No,
It does not get a rest day.
it does not get a rest day. There's no rest day.
So pregnancy can cause increased fatigue due to those fun hormonal changes, an increased blood volume, which is wild to me, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the demands of growing a baby. It may be more difficult to find the energy and motivation to exercise, especially during the first and third trimesters. And this is when it's essential to listen to your body and rest when needed.
Yeah.
So crucial.
So crucial. We know a lot of people who have had morning sickness. That's usually during your first trimester. Most times people will kind of, for lack of a better word, grow out of it. So like by the time the second trimester comes around, some of that morning sickness kind of rescinds. But some people carry it all the way through their pregnancy. So not only is your body trying to grow something, it can't also absorb all of the nutrients that you're putting in it. And then feeling guilt or shame around not staying physically active, like we have to change the culture around that of like, you just sit.
It is okay.
It is okay.
Listen to your body.
Yes.
It's going to tell you what it needs.
It is. Joint discomfort.
Ooh.
So I can't imagine. Like as a pregnancy progresses, there's a hormone relaxin and it's released, which loosens ligaments in preparation for childbirth.
Ooh.
So yeah, your body is like, hey, you're going to do this thing. I'm going to help you. So this increased laxity. I don't know how to.
You wrote down laxity. Is that a word?
I don't know. Joint laxity can lead to more joint discomfort and make certain exercises, particularly high impact activities, more difficult or even risky.
Yeah.
And so I think that was something in my research that I was like, I hadn't even considered that your body might be preparing to expand in a way that it had not before, and what like hormonal things would need to go through to make that happen.
Thanks.
And so when I researched this, I was like, what? Oh, of course that makes sense. But like never crossed my mind.
But why you gotta relax all of them?
I don't think it's targeted gene therapy. Like,
I mean, I feel like it should be. Like you're growing a whole human. You can't like figure out what muscles need to stretch a little. Like,
I mean, maybe all of them need to stretch a little.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. Okay. So we already kind of touched on this, but balance and stability can also present challenges.
Yes.
The growing belly, where that little human is growing, can affect your balance and stability. It increases the risk of falls or injuries during exercising, or I would imagine just like existing in your life.
Probably.
So it's important to choose exercises that will promote balance and use supportive equipment like stability balls, chairs, whatever you need, if needed. I would encourage it.
Yeah.
I feel like, so I had this thought
Okay.
the other day about yoga specifically. And like, I feel like it's really frowned upon to like use like props, tools, blocks, straps in like the very rigorous, like traditional yoga
Mm-hmm.
or like Western style yoga. Like, it's so good. Like, not everybody's bodies is the same, are
Yeah.
the same. So, like, with pregnancy, if you're a yoga person, use those props. Like, they're there.
Yeah.
Use them.
I mean, I
It's
think
so good.
I think you showed me like chair yoga,
Love chair yoga.
like those kinds of things I think would be great for
Mhm.
somebody who is pregnant, especially maybe if they're further along in their pregnancy. Um, it's low impact, it's increasing, balance and stability. You're still moving your body and like
Yeah.
listening, but kind of creating a space.
That is stable and
Stable.
comfortable. And
Yes.
you're still able to stretch and do what you need to do for your yoga practice, but in a safe and more comfortable way.
Yeah. And I think also as people age, chair yoga also
Yes.
great. Like if you're just like, I don't think it needs to be just for pregnant people.
Oh, no, it's not. And like, that is an aspect of yoga that can be more, that is something that can make yoga more accessible
Mm.
to more people. People that have injuries, conditions, whatever, where pregnancy, where they're not able to be on their feet, where they're not able to do those more rigorous movements.
Mhm.
You know, it's all about accessibility.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay. So as your baby grows, you may be experiencing some discomfort in your backs, hips, and pelvic region. I can
What?
only imagine. This discomfort can make certain movements or positions challenging. So, as your uterus expands, me saying that, like there's like a twinge of pain, there may be limitations on exercises that involve lying flat on your back and things like that, and as it can reduce blood flow to the baby a bit. So
Yeah,
here's
makes
the
sense.
perfect, I love Shavasana.
Right?
Probably not going to be a great
No.
resting pose for someone who's pregnant.
Right.
So finding those ways to modify and like be able to find that position and be restful and be still without causing yourself pain and discomfort.
Yeah, absolutely. Sitting in a chair, lying on your side,
Mm.
using a bolster. Yeah.
Those just
Okay,
sound
now
nice for me.
Right? It's so nice. Savasana is my favorite. Okay. So then there are the emotional and psychological changes that happen during pregnancy. So this is an emotional and psychologically transformative time, along with being physically transformative. Hormonal changes can affect your mood, and you may experience anxiety or concerns about your changing body and the health of your baby, which totally makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I would be so anxious. Like, God, I'm growing this thing, and then it's going to come out, and I'm going to have to take care of it. And like, it would be a whole thing. These emotional changes can impact your motivation and your desire to engage in exercise.
Yes.
Like, you're tired, you're worried. Maybe you're anxious about what the exercise might do to your pregnancy and how it might affect the baby, which is why you should talk to your doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So there's a lot of challenges that are, circling around.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. So some exercises and activities that were safe and enjoyable before your pregnancy may require modifications or need to be avoided altogether during your pregnancy. It's important to consult with your healthcare provider or a qualified prenatal fitness specialist to ensure you're engaging in exercises that are safe for you and your baby. So while there are challenges, it's okay to try and find things, and they might be new things for you, to make sure that you're getting some of that fitness in.
So, engaging in regular exercise during pregnancy offers numerous benefits to both you and your baby. One that I think is overlooked, perhaps, but very much appreciated would be enhanced stamina for labor and childbirth. So now that you've grown this thing,
You got to get it out.
it's going to come out. Labor and childbirth require a lot of endurance and a lot of physical strength. Yikes. Regular exercise during pregnancy can improve your cardiovascular fitness, muscular endurance, and overall stamina, which may help you cope better with the demands of labor and childbirth.
Yeah, it really could.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Like that is,
I think
childbirth is traumatic. So another benefit of maintaining like physical fitness during pregnancy is a faster postpartum recovery.
Woohoo.
Yeah. So it can contribute to a quicker recovery after childbirth, with stronger muscles, improved cardiovascular fitness, and maintaining a healthy weight during a pregnancy can aid in postpartum healing and regaining pre-pregnancy fitness levels. So if you're already somebody who's pretty active or on a training regimen, this can help you get back to kind of that baseline a little bit quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
So studies have shown that moderate exercise during pregnancy has a positive impact on fetal development.
Woohoo.
So it can potentially improve the baby's neurodevelopment, cardiovascular health, and overall well-being as they kind of like age.
Damn.
Yeah.
Baby's coming out jacked.
Yeah. It's like, the image that popped into my mind was like a miniature Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just like, like laying in the bassinet, just like pops up and it just like does like a bodybuilding pose.
Baby's ready for the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we like to try and give you some tips to manage all these challenges that we talk about. So first, we would suggest opting for low impact exercises that are gentle on your joints and minimize the risk of falls or injury. Things like walking, swimming, stationary cycling, prenatal yoga, and modified strength training exercises are generally considered safe for most pregnant women. Again, talk to your doctor. Avoid activities with a high risk of impact, such as contact sports. I feel like that one's pretty obvious.
No playing rugby.
Or vigorous running, especially as your pregnancy progresses.
Yes. So if you're in your first trimester and you don't have morning sickness and you're feeling really good, you can probably keep a pretty steady regimen of what you've been doing. It's as it progresses that you're going to probably come up against some more challenges and need to make some more modifications.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So here's a big one. And because your body is changing pretty rapidly, I mean,
right?
There's a lot going on. It's
9 months is not a long time.
No, it's not. It's really important to pay attention to how you feel during exercise. I think a lot of us get into a state when we're exercising of like, I'm hot, I'm tired, I just want this to be over, or like we're not necessarily really feeling our body. We're in our head a lot.
Yeah.
And so just making sure you're paying attention to like how your body is feeling during that exercise. It's undergoing a significant change, and it's really essential to respect the signals your body is giving you. If an activity is causing pain or discomfort, dizziness, shortness of breath, I feel like depending on what the activity is, that one can be really hard because it's like, is this a sign that my body is under stress, or is this just my heart rate is elevated and this is how I feel when I do this particular thing?
Well, I think there is a difference between like, I've been working hard and I'm breathing hard and I am short of breath and it's a problem.
I can't catch my breath. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you stop for a minute to catch your breath and you are unable to do so, like that's a problem.
That's a problem. Yeah. That's a clear sign. Yeah. So it's again really important to modify or stop any exercise that doesn't feel right for you. Listen to your body. And I don't know how else to like stress of like, because it's so hard sometimes to listen to your body, to like, your mind is telling you one thing. Now, whether your body is like, no, this is totally fine, but your mind is like, I just want an out. I want an escape. Like we always talk about like your mind is the thing that will quit way before your body will, because your body actually can do a lot of really great things. But it's that kind of like discomfort in our head that makes us opt out. So I think during pregnancy, it's just having much more awareness. And I think I keep coming back to yoga being a great practice during pregnancy so that people can be more in touch with how their body feels. Because
Yes.
I am never more aware of different things in my body than when I'm doing yoga.
It's true. And like, I think that's what one of the beautiful things about yoga is that it is that connection between mind and body.
Mhm.
Yeah. So strongly encourage that. Your body will also probably be telling you to drink plenty of water. Before, during, after your workouts, all the time. It's important to prevent dehydration. Like your pregnancy is going to increase your body's fluid needs. So it's important that you ensure you're staying adequately hydrated.
I really like this point. One of the best hydration tips I have ever gotten was from a pregnant and then subsequently breastfeeding mother about what to drink because her doctor or midwife, someone said, one of the best kind of natural, not artificial, there's no Gatorade, was coconut water.
Love coconut water.
And I, over the last 4 years, that has been like my go-to thing. And it truly does work. Like, I don't really I'm not usually like, oh, now I want a Gatorade. It used to be like, I want a Gatorade. I want a Powerade. Because I'm a big sweaty mess when I work out.
Yes.
Yeah. And I get dehydrated quickly. So if you take anything away from this, coconut water might be one of your kind of like secret hacks during pregnancy and breastfeeding, if you choose to breastfeed or can breastfeed.
Hydration, so important.
Hydration. Hydrate or dihydrate.
Right? It's my favorite saying.
It is. So working out is great, but remembering to ease into a gentle warm-up to start to prepare your body for that activity, because so many things are already changing. Like, let's not just jump into the deep end.
Let's not. It's not a good choice.
So make sure you're doing some light stretches or a few minutes of low intensity cardio. I think it's underrated, like hopping on a bike and just getting your heart rate a little more elevated.
Yeah.
And, similarly, I know so many of us as non-pregnant people just kind of wrap up what we're doing and walk out of the gym. Cooling down is so important. And even if you're not pregnant, cooling down is so important.
It is.
This can help reduce muscle soreness, and it can just generally, it is a good thing. So if you're pregnant, make sure that you give yourself enough time to do those cool down, do some light stretching, and just kind of bring your heart rate back down to normal so you aren't uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And giving your body, a little bit of grace on either end is super important.
It is. Yeah. Okay. Also important is eating a balanced diet with the necessary nutrients that are vital for you and your baby's health. Consult with a registered dietitian or your healthcare provider to ensure you're meeting your nutritional needs during pregnancy, especially if you're engaging in regular exercise.
Yes.
I can only imagine how your dietary needs would change when you were pregnant and building a human inside your body.
Right. And what things also, we've known people who are pregnant, the cravings,
so
it's
silly.
It's like how your body is telling you something, but you got to figure out what that is. Right. When people crave pickles, salt, you're wanting salt. That's the baseline of that. And so trying to understand all of those things, I can only imagine it's like a full-time job of what do I eat and when? How do I give my baby what I need? But also the things
what I need.
Get what I need, and the things that make me spark joy in this time of just transitional chaos.
Yeah. Why does my baby just want burgers all the time when I'm a vegetarian?
Yeah, right. I just want a salad. Your baby's like, no, I'd like some iron. Thank you. We've talked about this, but as your pregnancy progresses, you're most likely going to need to modify your exercise routine, and going into that with kind of eyes wide open early on, not thinking you're going to be able to carry all the way through the same thing that you've always done is really important. So, we've talked about your balance, your joint stability, and your center of gravity all changing, all shifting. So adapting those exercises as necessary and considering using supportive equipment. So a pregnancy support belt or more cushioned shoes.
Yes. Get those comfy shoes.
Get those comfy shoes and indulge in those things is important.
Absolutely. And they'll be great when you have to carry around your kid when it's born too.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice soft shoes. It's also important to not overexert yourself. Like we've already said, you're working hard already. Like, avoid pushing yourself to the limits during pregnancy. I know some of us, cough, cough, looking at you, Sid, tend to push ourselves to our limits as often as we can during a workout. But while you're pregnant, you should be able to maintain a conversation during exercise without feeling breathless or straining excessively. Be mindful of your body's limitations and adjust the intensity of your workouts accordingly.
I hear that. It's a good thing I'm not pregnant.
It is. You'd struggle.
I would. This one, you know, I think a lot of people joke about it, and just like in general, it's really important to strengthen your pelvic floor muscles.
What?
They're super important and really beneficial during pregnancy.
You don't say.
And they also aid in postpartum recovery. So having already like starting ahead of the game is going to help. So consult with your doctor for guidance on proper technique and frequency, like how many things should you be doing, how many times a week. Just if that's the baseline of like your fitness is just making sure you're strengthening your pelvic floor, that's all you can manage. Awesome. Great. Do that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And of course, prioritize rest and recovery. Give your body ample time to rest and recover between your workouts. Aim for quality sleep and listen to your body's cues for rest and relaxation.
So what that means is if you're a 5 time a week worker outer, you might be going down to 3 times a week. Yeah. And you're going to have to like be okay with that because you have to give yourself time in between those sessions.
Yeah. Or maybe there's shorter sessions, or maybe your schedule changes.
Yeah. So maybe you're still working out 5 times a week, but now it's 3 times of strength training and cardio and 2 times of prenatal yoga.
Yeah.
You're still active 5 times a week, but you're doing different things to help ensure, you know, postpartum recovery and a jacked Arnold Schwarzenegger baby.
Hey,
if you can't find an image of a jacked baby for this episode cover, I will be so sad. Because that's really what I want.
Am I supposed to be changing the episode covers?
No, but I just want it for this one. I think it'll be hysterical.
Got it. Okay. Noted.
All right. Well,
those are the challenges.
Those are the challenges and tips of, you know, starting out a pregnancy fitness journey. And I think that's a wrap on our first episode of July. Holy moly, I can't believe it's July.
Right.
Keep listening every Wednesday as we continue exploring different topics related to fitness, women, and the LGBTQIA community. And make sure to follow, share, like, comment, you know, all the things. And happy Arnold Schwarzenegger baby. Yeah.